In and out. Welcome aboard.
One of the highlights of the movie is the thing you filmed on the last day of filming, which is your dance number. Mm-hmm. It is unhinged. And the thing about it that people might not realize is that like you're essentially like throwing a party for yourself as like for the violence you're about to do. And it's like, it's just effed up. Talk a little bit about filming that sequence and like what the character is going through.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like, it's almost like a rap party that he's thrown for himself after one killing and filming the act itself, which is kind of Tucker's fetish, if you will. Even though we don't over-sexualize that thing, he certainly has this kind of, you know, he sees himself as a bit of as a filmmaker and a collector of these experiences. So he documents them, and that's something we see in the movie. It's also a moment where we understand fully how many times this has actually happened, because we see how many tapes are kind of catalogued in his library. But yeah, it was a wild moment. When I read that in the script, I thought, oh, that's going to be a lot of fun. It's also going to push me way out of my comfort zone. And so I had Sean help me out and schedule it late, and it was sort of the last thing I did. And I just had to go for it, I think. You know, there was no choreography. We did 2 takes. It was myself and our DOP, Shelley, just in the dance floor. And I had to just get myself in a bit of an unhinged headspace and just go for it.
It's like, being serious, if I was filming that sequence, I would loosen myself up with like a gallon of vodka or just something to like make me, you know what I mean? Like, can you mentally get into that headspace just naturally?
Naturally, and with the help of a bit of whiskey.
Right. Okay. So yeah, there's a little bit of loosening yourself up.
Yes, safely, of course. You know, don't alarm my producers, but you know, I think sometimes when you have to step into that space, it doesn't hurt to just close the gap a little bit. You know what I mean?
I'm fully saying to you, I could never do that bit that you do stone sober. That's, you know, the sequence.
Yeah, for sure. And I knew I wanted, I mean, kind of with Tucker as a whole, I wanted to go big with this character. And I think that's how we're able to have as much fun with him as we are terrified. But yeah, I mean, if we got in our heads about what that dance was supposed to be and it was kind of overthought and prepared for, it would never have had the same impact. So I was glad Shawnee just kind of let me do my thing and I was able to just shake it out.
Yeah, one of the things I also appreciated about this movie is like sharks are basically gentle. Like they're not what's depicted in Jaws, and they've gotten a bad rap for a long time. And I like that, you know, sharks are being portrayed for what they are in this, and the real killer is men, and specifically your character.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's an interesting play on these themes because they're often sort of portrayed as these indiscriminate killers, and you know, characters are either stuck in the water or, I mean, I've seen shark films where an Aussie one comes to mind, Bait, where one got into a mall in a flood, and like there's always like the shark that we're supposed to fear, and it's just an interesting play on that. It kind of it shakes up the cliche a bit, and you know, Tucker sees himself akin to them in some way. Might be a little bit of a misguided sort of philosophy, but he does believe he's also an apex predator, and you know, these opportunities that come into his world and his web and his hunting ground are a chance for him to restore balance in his own kind of ecosystem. You know, it's like Tucker says in the film, it's not the shark's fault.
This is a sidebar question. I've been asking this of everyone I've been speaking to in the last little bit. I love seeing movies in movie theaters and not on your iPhone, not on your TV. And so do you have a favorite movie theater?
Oh, movie theater. Well, I would say my favorite movie theater is no longer there. And I mean, it was, I like I always like going to the ArcLight in Hollywood. But it didn't survive COVID, I guess, which is such a shame. I know that's not maybe the most like classic film buff, cool guy cinema, but that was my favorite place to go and check stuff out when I was living over that way. But it's a bummer it's gone. But yes, I would implore folks to get out to the cinema to see to see Dangerous Animals. Don't wait till it comes to a streamer. It's really an immersive experience. Our sound design is huge. It's such a triumph in that sense, and it'll really add so much to the experience of this film if you see it on the big screen.
Well, the best compliment that anyone can say about the film is that you played the Cannes Film Festival, which is like, when you were making this, at what point were you like, we're going to Cannes with this?
We had no idea till a few weeks ago. I mean, it was such an honor and pretty unexpected for all of us. But I think it's testament to the triumph that this film became. And it's, at no point in any process, I mean, some films you make are kind of set up to become a success, or it feels like they have all the ingredients. And this felt like a really good, visceral, cool indie horror film that we knew it was going to be great. But the journey of how it gets to audiences is another thing altogether. And I think it's just it's testament to what we were able to achieve, that not only has it got a great distribution that's going wide June 6th, but also that it's getting recognized in these kind of more niche fields and appreciated just the same.
I believe you've been acting in a number of other projects recently, and I want to touch on one, which is War Machine, something that I'm looking forward to. I like Patrick a lot, the director. What do you want to tease people about it?
Oh, man, I think that film's just going to blow people away. It's big. It's high concept. Alan's an absolute savage. And, Pat, I've been a fan of for a long time, and he's become a good friend as well. And I mean, it was cool. It was cool to go down there. And what I really love about what he's doing is pulling these kind of big visionary action films into the Australia and into the industry down there. I think it's really healthy for the business down there, and it's cool to see. We have such world-class crews and locations, and yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they did. It's a real heartfelt character drama at the center of something that's pretty kind of glitzy and insane, but I think it's going to blow people's minds.
I also have to touch on something called The Fox. I read the one-liner on The Fox, and I'm like, wait, what? What can you tell people about this one? Because it's definitely not like the movie you've ever seen before.
It's not like a movie I've ever filmed before. I don't even know what I can tease about The Fox. It was truly unique. One of the most ambitious scripts I've ever read. I play a character who does a deal with a talking fox to essentially rid his life of all complications, and of course, that's a recipe for everything going from bad to worse. So yeah, it's I'm pumped to see it. I haven't seen a single frame of that thing, but Dario Russo wrote and directed it. He's a real diamond, I think, in rising cinema coming out of Australia. So I'm pumped, and I hope audiences will be too.
Do you know what you're filming this year, or are you still trying to figure it out?
No, I'm actually in pre-production on something right now. I'm about to start work on a film called The Very Best People in Staten Island, New York, which is an equally ambitious but very kind of contained crime caper comedy thriller with a phenomenal cast. It's adapted from a play originally and kind of feels that way as well. It all takes place in one night in a bar in Staten Island. And I'm blessed to be working with some cool people. So pumped for that and pumped for all the stuff that's coming out this year.
Listen, man, it's great to always see you. I really hope this is a huge hit for you guys.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate you, brother.